What's going on, YouTube? Another episode of the Dunces podcast, a special one here today. Why is that, guys? Who just won the NBA championship? The Milwaukee Bucks. The
Uh,
Milwaukee Bucks just won the championship. Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead. Say
I'm,
something.
I'm I'm putting on my funeral outfit for bum Charles Barkley, CP3, for Bahamian failure Da, who bro he just disappeared. Putting on my funeral outfit. I never want to see the Suns ever again in the playoffs. I am so happy they lost. Thank you.
Notice
Not as
this
good.
man is from Arizona, everyone. This man literally lives in Arizona. So
Bro,
for
I'm
those
just
Phoenix
so
Suns fans,
I'm
please
so sick.
find
I'm
him.
so sick of hearing Suns fans act like this run was not fraudulent. Like you just couldn't let a fan base enjoy this championship.
We will get there when we get there. But for now, let's do the intros. It's me, Jay. Isandro, what's good, bro? How you doing?
Good.
Okay. Johnny, you already
I'm
heard him.
happy. I'm
There,
happy.
there. I like it. I like it. He got the green on and everything represented. I'm out here with my Dunder Mifflin. Doesn't mean much, but let's talk about it, guys.
Shout
The
out
Bucks,
Sandro's fan.
the Bucks won the
My
NBA.
fan. What, you mean my AC?
It's the same
Yeah,
thing. Same thing.
we're seeing more of the fan than we're seeing you.
Yeah,
So
I don't know why yeah, look at this. This lighting is just not.
he wants to show his fan like a special appearance or something. All right.
It's like we're sponsored by whatever that thing is. But let's get into this, guys. The Bucks won the championship. Like that's freaking crazy. Last time they won was when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or whatever his name was before that, Lou Alcindor, I believe.
Lou Alcindor, yeah.
That was last time they won. Now they finally win this year. Let's just give Coach Bud his flowers. Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Giannis Antetokounmpo. In fact, the entire team, that entire roster deserves their flowers. So kudos to them for winning that championship. But what was one of your biggest takeaways from this so far, Johnny? What's one thing that you're like, man, the Bucks really impressed you off of this?
Well, I mean, we're talking about Bucks right now. The most important.
Yeah. We'll talk about Phoenix later. Just
I want to just the wow. There's a lot. I mean, Chris Middleton was hit or miss, but I think the biggest takeaway was Drew Holiday and his adjustments defensively after game one. Because game one, Chris Paul was getting every shot he wanted. I mean, they're just switching on Bobby Portis, attacking Pat Connaughton or Brian Forbes on switches. It was just one-on-one basketball. But when Drew committed to fighting over screens, diving for loose balls, or playing incredible defense on bigs too, man. He had some blocks in DeAndre Ayton. That was the real. I mean, Giannis played. Well, I mean, I think Drew Holiday's performance in Game 5 was the biggest part of the series. I mean,
it determined this series. So
really,
it determined the championship, to be honest. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
I just can't. Words can't express how important Drew Holiday was defensively. I mean, we talk about difference from games 1 and 2 to 3 and 4 and 5. Chris Paul had a great game today, but there are stretches where Chris Paul was just deferring to Cameron Payne because he couldn't do anything offensively.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy how a series can change. Giannis is on the start. He's only 26 years old already. With this finals experience under his belt, I don't think he's even hit his prime yet, to be honest, in my opinion. Because I think Giannis is a complete right. When you hit your prime, that means you're at your complete as a basketball player, correct?
Complete in your position.
I feel like you mean his peak. He hasn't hit his peak. Prime extends from like one point where you're doing really good, but peak is like somewhere in the middle of that prime where it's like that is your best. Like Shaq's prime was from, let's say, 96 to 03, 04, but his peak
but I still don't think
2000 to 2001. That was his peak.
I still don't think we've seen Giannis at his best yet.
We haven't seen him at his peak yet. Nah.
So
it's scary for the rest of the league.
It's scary because he's learned how to be a playmaker in the highest level of basketball.
Yeah. I think that was the thing that got me the most.
He shot free throws in some of the most in the most craziest environments.
Yep.
But in the regular season, free throws are going to be a breeze for this man. Like, I'm telling you, just going to be a increase. He's only going to playmaking, shooting. Man, it's just,
his confidence is at an all-time high right now because of these finals. That next season, look, I mean, I don't want to give him the MVP already for next year, but if he plays the way that he played throughout this season, just like this, like with all this momentum that he's got,
Mhm.
look out, man, because he is he's that dude, bro. He's nice. But Isandro, let me ask you, what's the one thing that another takeaway that you got from Milwaukee, whether it is Giannis or another player or just coaching? Like, what was one thing that you were like, wow, I'm really impressed with?
Oh, definitely coaching because we said in the previous pod how the Suns weren't the better
Hold on,
team, but they were just more well rounded.
before you continue, my boy, you are like completely out of the out of the screen, my boy. Like, you
Yeah,
are
bro.
just
Can you
there.
give
It
me?
is.
All right, there we go.
There it is.
Let's go.
There it is. There. Now you okay. You don't have to get all modeling with us and everything. Well, while Alessandro adjusts his camera, uh, Johnny, I just want to say I like your hat. There it
Thanks.
is.
It's my son's funeral fit, bro.
I like it. I enjoy it. But Alessandro, I'm sorry. Now there it is. Okay.
Hey, can I talk yet, or are you
Yeah.
gonna wait for me to?
Can we see your face more than the fan? I don't know. Pick or choose, bro.
Yes. You can talk. Go now.
I mean, it's an AC, but okay. Um, yeah, it was the coaching because I mean, we all really, and for good reason too, we all kind of underestimated Mike Budenholzer because he's really choked on that Atlanta team, this Bucks team up until this point. He's just not been. He's kind of been like Doc Rivers in the sense that he's kind of just he wasn't all that. He didn't make adjustments. He just
He's just
he kind
pushing
of
it on the
sold.
team, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like just good in the regular season, but you couldn't really get it done when it mattered. But then we saw, although not to the same extent as other coaches, he was starting to make some adjustments. He was starting to improve in the way he looked at and dealt with things. He moved Giannis to the 5 after what game 3, I believe, or
Yeah.
at game 3, and you instantly saw like that adjustment that he made was championship winning.
No, I agree. I think coaching by him, honestly, both sides of coaching were great. I think Bud's the way that he did it, putting Giannis at the center position to get DeAndre and out of foul, like in foul trouble, was crucial. Because if DeAndre Ayton was playing like he did in those first two games, I think this series is completely different. But after those first two games, he dropped off like tremendously, right? So just gonna read off some stats here. But
His
go ahead.
confidence, like kind of wavered. I mean, Bud, some of his he did a really good job, especially attacking when the Suns went small. I mean, going Giannis at the 5. I really Bud did a really good job coaching the back half of the series.
Yeah, it was impressive to see, but I think it was inevitable too. All the noise that it was making, like why aren't you playing Giannis at 5? Like all these questions, and that was ranging from basically the first series of this playoff run, right? So I'm glad that he made that adjustment. But just to read off some stats here, I mean, Giannis scored 51 in this game, 51 points, like that.
51.
It was 50, bro. He missed that last free throw, dog.
He missed the last free throw.
Okay.
You got to be correct. I mean,
He
come on.
scored 50. Sorry, everyone on YouTube who actually
I
watched.
mean, you can't win. You bring up the point and then he says, "Oh my God, oh."
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna read out some stats, but yet read the wrong stats.
Exactly. Come on, bro. You're reading stats.
I
Like,
gave
come
you
on.
10 minutes to like at least look at the stats.
You had one job. It was to read, and you couldn't even do that.
hey, look,
Okay.
and technically it's all our jobs. So thank you guys for backing me up here.
I let you
We
say. I have
assumed
the
that
stats
you were
right
gonna
here,
give
man.
us some real stats. Now
I
we
was
have to
actually
go.
going to talk about
Hey, since Jason doesn't know what he's doing, John
All
will
right,
score
hey,
50 and
Alessandro, let's go look up some stats, man. Oh my God.
I was
Yes.
going to look up the overall stats, but I decided to bring up this one game. But overall, in this series, you buffoons, he averaged 35 points a game, with I would see here 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, but 1.8 blocks, basically 2 blocks a game. He did everything. Mind you, he also won steal a game. He did everything for this team. But can we really say that this was really just Giannis, like that won this series?
You can't win by yourself, as LeBron has proven time and time again.
Giannis won this game, bro. I mean, he scored like
This
literally
game,
45% of the points. He won this game.
I think
Yeah, but he didn't win the series by himself, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some of the like key moments of the series weren't because of Giannis. The down 16 when the Suns and the Bucks went on that 10-0 run. It was really Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday's shot making.
Yeah.
And then Giannis closed out the game. But yeah, Chris Middleton, I mean, he's been inconsistent, but he made big shots when they needed to. And it's not his fault because the looks that they were getting in game 3 was because of the Giannis and Middleton, the pick and roll action. Either Giannis as a driver or Giannis setting the screen and then Middleton getting that easy pull-up jumper. The Suns like, all right, we're not doing that anymore. So they just start doubling him from the high pick and roll. So, I mean, a lot of it was game plan, but he still made big-time shots when they needed to make them. Middleton, great series.
Yeah, Middleton, I mean, his efficiency,
and played great defense, too.
His efficiency was pretty solid. He shot 45% from the field, 36% from three, and his free throw rating, obviously, it's always going to be great, 89%. Averaged 24 points per game this series. Now, of course, it fluctuates because he did have a game where he scored, what was it, like 12 points. The next one he scored like 30 something. So it was weird, but he still got the job done defensively. And I think that was one of the key moments or one of the key factors in then winning this series, because Middleton's defense and Drew Holiday's defense were some of the best defenses that I've seen in a while from these two guys, right? And not just in these finals, but throughout the playoffs. As much as I hate the Bucks for beating my Nets, I'm glad that the Nets lost to the eventual champions. And I think Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday definitely deserve their flowers. And Bobby Portis being that energy guy off the bench.
Underrated, man. Underrated. I mean,
needed.
Big time spurts of energy. He hit some big threes when they needed to hit him, too. And he was able to counteract the fact that Pat Connaughton thought he was Steph Curry for some reason.
Get him out of here.
Bro, who does he think he is, dog?
I can't stand that, man. He's the worst basketball player in the world. But Brian Scalabrine,
0 points.
Yeah. I know, and he missed those 2 free throws. Man's a bum.
Jay Crowder game. Pat Connaughton hit you with the Jay Crowder game. Yo, Jay Crowder a bum. All right, go ahead.
But as for PJ Tucker, too, like PJ Tucker played a great series as well.
No, he did not.
I think he did solid. Like,
no, he did not. No, yo, PJ Tucker was like a non-factor the entire series. He was just out there running.
I think what Johnny's saying is, if you remember, PJ Tucker getting into foul trouble was one of the best things to happen because they immediately brought Drew back.
Literally,
and he was able to guard up.
Bro,
that's true.
Devin Booker and the Suns were attacking him off of screens, dog.
But I mean,
I heard Drew Holiday. I heard Drew Holiday say that PJ Tucker. Remember that pass where he threw to Giannis, and then he said that he was able to make that play because of PJ Tucker. No, he made that play because Giannis. He beat PJ Tucker off the dribble, and then Giannis was there. PJ Tucker comes back, and then he turns around and Joe steals the ball. Like, PJ Tucker, he was literally just running out there. Like, he tricked y'all, man.
I mean, he did shoot 50% from the field and 50% from three. I mean, obviously, those numbers don't really tell it all because he didn't really shoot that much.
That doesn't.
I think in the first few minutes of each game, he was very important. But as the game went on, of course, it's a stars league, right?
Important, like, is just like an overstatement. Like, he gave you nothing. He gave you nothing on defense. He wasn't really getting loose balls. He wasn't rebounding really. He just did nothing. He's just a body just to throw at Devin Booker at CP3 to make him tired at times. He did nothing.
Well, I mean, now looking over to the Sun side, just real quick before we even get there, shout out Phoenix, because I know that so many people are like, oh, if they would have won, like it doesn't really matter because all the look, injuries happen. That's just a part of the league. I still think that they would have deserved it if they would have won, especially Chris Paul, because Chris Paul deserves a championship.
No, he does not. Chris Paul does not deserve a championship. Chris Paul, bro.
Hot take. I don't know about that one. He probably wouldn't have deserved this one, but he deserves a championship.
Injuries happen.
He doesn't deserve a championship.
Never in the history of the game have you seen a guy run through one conference with every single team he's facing. One or the first or the second best player on the team isn't there because they're injured. Never. All right, so let's not say injuries happen because that's never happened, and it never will happen again.
But injuries are a part of the game, so
that's an anomaly. It's an anomaly.
This is an anomaly, bro. Like not just injuries, but every single star player got injured.
If the Bucks don't play a hobbled Nets team, you think the Nets won't beat them?
That's one team.
But it's
That's
still a
one
team.
team.
Every single team
still a
CP3
team.
played. Every single team. And even then, he goes into the finals, and Giannis is questionable because of an injury. Okay, so don't give me that anomaly. On to the next.
Giannis was playing on one leg, bro.
I guess.
Honestly, every single team they played was hobbled. Every single team. Never in the history of the game have you seen that. Ever.
You can't discredit that. You can't discredit them because they still
Give me one more instance where one guy
the
makes it to the
Raptors.
finals because every single team he played,
Obviously-
their
obviously
best player
not every
wasn't there.
single team, but when the Raptors went to the finals, they shouldn't have won that either. But Clay and KD,
That's one final series.
but it's
We're
still
talking
a
about
series. It's still a
three and potentially 4 series if Giannis was injured. That's 3 series. Every single time you're talking about, it's only been 1 series.
Injuries are a part of the game. I don't know what
1 series. CP3 played 3 series.
Bro, no, bro, relax. The injuries are part of the game, but we're not talking about devastating injuries to like, bro, like if the Suns don't even get out the first round, bro. If the Lakers are healthy, they don't even get out the first round. The Bucks, on the other hand,
But they were
may
injured.
have made it to ECF. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So then technically, then this whole thing with the Bucks, and they don't
No,
deserve
there's no technically. They played one team with 2 hobbled
No,
stars. One of them wasn't even
the
playing.
Bucks, the Bucks.
Other team, they were
The
missing
Bucks
2
deserve it.
players.
Injuries are a part of the game, and I think regardless.
Third
of
team, they were put.
series, they
The
would've-
third team they played, they were missing their best player. They were missing Zubac, and they were missing Ibaka. So don't give me injuries if all 3 like they weren't even playing the best players on each team. All right,
I
don't
still
even give me
say
that.
it
They were not.
And also,
I mean,
and
they
also,
beat the team in front of them.
I like Giannis. I like the narrative with Giannis.
And
I
look,
don't
we're
like
not
the
trying to
narrative.
discredit anything the Suns are doing. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
let's not
we
elevate.
are, though.
We're not elevating. We're not
No.
discrediting.
Let's make this perfectly clear. I am discrediting everything the Suns are doing.
I'm not. That's my stance.
That's
I
what
believe
I'm
both
doing.
of you are, and I believe both of you.
No.
both
I'm
of
just
you
saying,
are
let's not
right
elevate.
in
Let's be
a way,
realistic.
But I still believe that injuries are a
level
part of the
head.
game, so it doesn't even matter.
All right, so Suns anyway. What was your question?
Bucks and Suns, they made it to the finals, which was great. Chris Paul, I still think he deserves one. He will get one, hopefully. I don't think so actually, but he deserved one. That's what I wanted to say. Monty Williams, did he deserve Coach of the Year this year?
Yes.
They-
I don't know why Thibodeau even won that coach.
Regular season, man.
Yeah,
Knicks were a worse team, but I mean, look at what they did in the playoffs.
They were a worse team in the regular season.
and in an easier conference.
Yeah, but that they were just a bad, like, not a good team.
Oh, Thibodeau paid off the media members, bro. Thibodeau got to be sleeping with like Rachel Nichols or something like that. Because, bro, what the heck is going on?
Nichols out there doing what
Rachel Nichols.
Did you hear about what happened with Rachel Nichols and Sandra? I know we talked about it last time in the podcast, but did you know what happened with Rachel?
Dog, we're not
Yeah.
talking about Rachel Nichols. Let's talk about the Suns. Forget it. We're talking about
Yeah. Well, with Jimmy and also with the reporter.
that was.
Shout out Rachel though. Okay, but anyway, back to the Suns. Look, D Book and Chris Paul. Look, I just want to read off these stats on Chris Paul. 55% from the field, 52% from three, 75% from the free throw line. That's not Chris Paul. I just want to mention.
Well, Chris Paul wasn't getting to the line really. So this
But
was.
when he did, he wasn't hitting at a mark that he normally does.
He's usually like in the 90s.
Okay, but if he's not getting to the line, that's really marginal. That's a marginal stat.
Well, can you tell us the sample size, Jay? Like how many out of how many does the show?
Here, I'll find it in a second.
Chris Paul wasn't
I think
that's not. If D Book shot 75%, I'd be concerned. But Chris Paul wasn't even getting to the line because he wasn't even aggressive. Drew Holiday was just playing great defense, which adds to my Drew Holiday point.
The man averaged 21 points with 8 assists. He had a solid season. Like,
I can't hear you, Jay.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, go on.
So he had a solid series, but there was something off with Chris Paul. I don't know what it was, but the thing is that they just couldn't win when he was playing great, right? And then you got D Book averaging 28 points, 88% free throw shooting, 45% from the field, but 27% from three. I mean, the finals, I mean, your inefficiency is already going to be there, a part of you. It's part of the game, whatever. But the best games that these guys played, they actually never played their best games together.
Yeah.
Chris Paul had one good game, like very, very good game.
Oh no, wait, yeah, but D Book had a decent game, game one.
Right, and then the game 3, right? Chris Paul has a great game. D Book scores 12 points.
You said
Then
game 3?
I believe it was game 3 or game 4. One of those games where D Book he just wasn't the blowout game that game.
Yeah,
So
but Chris Paul ignored CB3 was fun.
no,
CB3.
Chris Paul played great. That he had like 30 something that game.
Garbage time CB3, bro. Come on, man.
Okay,
Garbage time
it seemed like
CB3.
garbage time at the time.
Garbage time CB3, one of the best players in the
He
NBA.
played a great
Wait,
game.
what are we talking garbage time? Like, what would you
No,
define
what he's
garbage
saying
time as?
because the Bucks were up by like 20
The
something.
game is out of reach.
That's why, yeah.
But if it's out of reach, how much garbage time is he playing?
Because it was out of reach in the third quarter. That's not the point. The point is that
Mm.
Chris Paul had a great game. He had a great game that game. And then the next game, D Book goes off. Chris Paul's not there. It sucks that it happened that way, but at the end of the day, that's just what happens in basketball, right?
Yo, my thing is Booker's best games the Suns lost. I mean, I think that's D Book's next step is playmaking and 3-point shooting. That's really his next step because when D Book was really, looking for his shot, it was stagnating the entire offense. But when Chris Paul looks for a shot, it's the screen and roll, trying to attack Brook Lopez in the paint area. So if he comes up, he has aim to get in the rim, or he has shooters. So when Chris Paul is looking for a shot, that adds movement and fluidity to the offense. When D Book is looking for his shot, it's stagnant. I mean, bro, he was hit. I mean, D Book was incredible.
Yeah.
But as regards to winning basketball, it wasn't there for D Book. So I mean, that's the thing. So Chris Paul really, and obviously he's dealing with some sort of injury that we don't know about because he was losing the ball so many times. I think it's the torn ligament that was giving him issues. But yeah, Chris Paul's inability to show up really is the reason why they lost.
Do you think that it's also like a little bit DeAndre in as well? I mean, I know but who deserves a little bit more blame? Is it Chris Paul or is it DeAndre?
Well, Chris Paul.
Goes
don't say DeAndre because Chris Paul is a spoon feeder to DeAndre Ayton. When Chris Paul plays well, usually DeAndre Ayton plays well.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, my bad. You said DeAndre Ayton first.
I said he goes as far as CP3 goes because, I mean, CP3 fed him. Yeah.
I think this entire the best player on the team obviously is Devin Booker, like offensive player, but the best all around, the most important player is probably Chris Paul, right? So I think it does fall on him, this loss, but you can't really count. I don't know, man. In the first place, right? You guys have said it. They shouldn't have been in the first place. So does it really matter if they lost this series?
No, I don't think it we can't discredit the fact that they lost because they shouldn't even have been there in the first place. It's not like, oh, CP3 choked this. They were overachieving from the start.
Like you said earlier, Jason, it's really the Miami bubble run. So it's like you could be like come back like for something. Oh yeah, man, we got this. We're ahead of schedule. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't. Defending NBA champions in the first round, then you play the Nuggets team. Like this might be another conversation for another day, but re-signing Chris Paul isn't a done deal. I don't think it was a done deal, even if they won the championship. To be completely honest with you,
I saw that. I saw the Knicks. Obviously, the Knicks are always involved with any player, but like teams like that are like, oh, Chris Paul's obviously he's gonna decline that option, try to get more money.
Well, he already declined the option, so
yeah. So once he does that, I mean, he's an unrestricted free agent right now, so he potentially has a chance to leave Phoenix, and if he does, Phoenix even make it to the playoffs? Possibly. I think D Book and Ayton can, but these other teams like the Warriors will be back. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Pelicans. They're going to be growing and stuff like that. So, you never know. But going back to this finals run, Chris Paul, I was heartbroken to see him lose. But at the same time, I think it's all on him. Like this loss is on Chris Paul.
Suns need a backup center. They've needed a backup center.
Dario Saric, I was telling Ishan, Dario Saric was a huge loss, and not because he plays good defense, but because of the way he places the floor and gives better minutes than Kaminsky has. Now Kaminsky played great today,
Yeah, he did play have really good minutes today.
but I would have much rather had
Hey,
Sar.
but Frank Kaminsky of the Hakeem shake, bro, and
Yo, you said I know botched that layup. It's like that Wisconsin game.
bro, Frank Kaminsky torching Wisconsin in Wisconsin. It was beautiful for about 5 minutes.
Real. But yeah, so far, shout out the Suns for making it. But now back to the Bucks. Bucks officially win this championship. You guys alluded to it before. This is kind of like the start, but is it really the start? I mean, you still got Brooklyn and that three-headed monster.
Yeah.
You got Philly, who sure, Ben Simmons, who knows what's up with him, but Joel Embiid is a monster, right? And then you got Boston, young team, who just brought back Al Horford, who's known as like the Giannis stopper or whatever. So how how much like how much of an improvement can they make off of this? Sure, it's one championship, but do you really think that they can actually win it again next season with this?
Yeah, this might be an anomaly season for the Bucks because I mean, they should have lost in the second round. I mean, holy cow, the Nets were cooking them with Kyrie. They should have lost in the second round. It's just kind of crazy how life works. Like, think about all the jobs that would have been lost if KD wears just his normal shoe size. Like, assistant coach is gone, Bud's gone, the front office in turmoil, players traded, but no, that happens and they're back. But I mean, look at the Hawks, man. The Hawks, was it the GM or president of operations? He was a part of the architecture for Golden State, so the Hawks, they're coming, bro. And Cam Reddish is only going to get better. Sherman's only going to get better. They lost DeAndre Hunter. Well, a healthy Bogey, that team's going to be dangerous. You got the Nets.
How long is DeAndre Hunter out for?
Oh, what did he tore his what?
I think he tore his ACL or something like that. I don't know. Let me look it up. But continue. Go on with your thought. I'll look it up.
Okay, so the Hawks, Nets. I feel like I'm missing a team. Well, Sixers. I don't know. That's fluid. I think Celtics are going to be the most surprising team of the year next year.
Who?
Because I think Celtics are going to surprise a lot of people next year. Yeah, because bro, Udoka is such a great mind, man. They're already developing chemistry. They're already developing chemistry in USA basketball. I think Celtics are going to make a leap. So you got all these teams in the East. I just think it's going to be an anomaly season. But maybe this finals experience shows the Bucks how to win. And that's why I feel like the Bucks needed this champ. Because like you can't beat finals experience. And having that experience,
but
maybe that helps them.
Had experience on either side besides Jay Crowder. So I mean, is this really a finals? I mean, yeah, I guess it's a finals experience, but
just being in the championship,
it's another level.
Just knowing that you've done it before can do wonders to a team.
Yeah,
man.
That's true. It definitely boosts their confidence, like I said. But just real quick on the DeAndre Hunter thing, he suffered a small tear on his lateral meniscus, so he'll probably be back at the beginning of next season. In a few weeks, he'll probably take off just to rehab it a little bit.
Have like a month off.
But yeah, no, I think Atlanta was another sleeper team for this playoff or for next season, right? But for the Bucks, at least, right? Giannis, he's gonna keep growing. I think he's already my MVP for next season. I'm just gonna point that out there. Hot take, probably not. It doesn't really matter. But with this championship, do you think that they're gonna be like, oh, this team is already good enough to win. We don't have to bring in new players or stuff like, or like re-sign the guy. We'll just re-sign the guys we have, or we'll let one of them walk. Like, what do you think is Milwaukee's like mindset coming into this upcoming free agency and with some of their free agents on board?
Who are they free agents? I mean, I guess we could just run this for Milwaukee Bucks pod, I guess. Who are they free agents?
Bucks roster. So I know Bobby Portis signed a 1-year deal.
They're gonna resign him to another 1 year, and obviously
because he probably wants to get paid now from what he just did.
No, he's not gonna get paid. They'll give him like a 2-year. I think, yeah, they'll give him like a 2-year, bro. It look like an option, and they'll make it like it'll be like a tradable, like probably like 5-10 million, probably 10 million for 2 years.
But they're over the luxury, so how would they even afford that?
They can't even afford $5 million.
Look, man, they got Middleton making $37 million. Giannis making 42 million, because this is when his like the 40s start jumping in for Giannis,
So Drew is making 27 million, right?
making 33, and then you got Brook making 13. Pat will most likely be brought back because they're not going to lose it for nothing. He's going to get 5 mil.
What about DiVincenzo? What about DiVincenzo?
He's making 6 million.
No, but when does his contract expire?
So after this season,
Man, that's gonna be a tough decision.
yeah. So
Okay, but yeah, I mean, another 1 year, probably a veteran's minimum. I don't think Bobby wants to leave Milwaukee unless he gets a better offer.
he's obviously going to get a. I mean, the games that he played. I mean, he's definitely looking for about 10 to 15 mil on a different.
Yeah,
team.
he's gonna get paid. He deserves it, to be honest.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's the finals thing. You know,
nah.
Remember Bismack Biyombo was looking like a god on Toronto, and then when he signed that large contract with Orlando, everybody realized, oh yeah, it was just a playoff run.
But no.
Think about it, man.
No. Okay, but if you're a team in your right mind, you're not signing Bismack Biyombo to the number they did, right? Where did he sign to Orlando, right?
Yeah, it was a 4 year, 50 something million, so $17 million a year for 4 years.
Yeah, you're not signing Bismack Biyombo if you're a contender. So that's my thing. Orlando's known
That's
for
why they're not. A bad team is going to sign him to like 20, 30 mils, something like that. You know?
And he went to
Exactly.
a bad team. He went to a bad team anyway. So who knows? He probably never saw his real potential.
He's talking about Bismack.
Oh, Big Mac. Yeah. No, I'm saying.
Wouldn't he perform better in a bad team? Because it's like,
Yeah, but
empty
okay.
numbers.
His role was never to be a scorer.
The point that I'm making was that like you can have a good playoff run, a good finals run, but you're not that good of a player. It's that simple. I mean,
Bobby Portis never even had a good finals run. He's just a luxury energy player, and he's gonna get paid as such.
exactly. So, but even then, people are gonna be like, "Oh, he averaged 12 points a game. Imagine it with a bigger role. Let's give him about 20 to 15."
Well, I mean, unless you have Mike Budenholzer disease, no, you don't.
You never know, man. I'm telling you, the Bismack Biyombo thing was a real thing. That's why teams need to be a little bit more cautious. But what do you guys think for next season? Like, what should the Bucks do? Like, obviously, re-signing PJ and Bobby should be your number one thing.
I don't think they don't need to resign PJ.
Right, because he's coming to Brooklyn. But do you guys think that Brook Lopez would be a solid trade bait for a team?
for who though? For what? Brook.
I'm just saying, like, would you?
How
Like,
much is he making?
Center that can stretch.
Didn't they sign him for like a 3-year deal?
this upcoming season will be his final on. Oh wait, hold on. I'm actually looking at this wrong. Wait, so no, Chris Middleton will be making 35, and then Giannis will be making 39. Drew Holiday will be making 31. Brooke would be making 13, and they have Bobby Portis on a team option. I didn't realize that. So, oh no, that's a player option. Whatever. The thing is that these guys are still making a lot of money, right? So Brook Lopez still actually has 2 years left on his deal. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm looking to trade Brook just because I think Giannis now is officially my big man.
A center, yeah.
Right.
I saw you could trade Brook Lopez to really solidify your bench because, bro, Pat Connaughton, bro, you can't. I don't think you can trust them, bro. I can't trust Pat Connaughton.
I think they'll resign him because they don't want to lose him for nothing.
I think because DiVincenzo got injured, he was supposed to be getting the minutes Connaughton got.
They won it. Yeah, really good point. Really good point. But that's crazy. The Bucks won without a key starter. So I mean, if they get DiVincenzo back, the only thing get better.
Dude, if he was there, I think Bucks would have won this a lot quicker than 6, because DiVincenzo plays great defense. He's a solid energy guy, and the way that he gets his shots up, especially the way Giannis is playing, oh my gosh, they would have destroyed Phoenix. Well, not destroyed, but I think
it still would have been 6, but it wouldn't have been a close 6. It would have been like oh yeah, you made it to 6. Congratulations.
So what would you do if you're Milwaukee then? So like, what's the one
trade Brook?
Just
Brook has a lot of potential because he's a stretch 5. He can stretch the floor, and a lot of teams need that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good defender.
Yeah, and he can play D2.
Yeah, it's one of those things like look at your options, see where your team's at on that trade deadline. You won the championship, bro. You have at least 2 years to relax and just go off the team that you have.
Do you?
Mm.
Because I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
No, but dog, the Bucks are gonna reset, bro. That's what owners do. Like owners, they're kind of dumb. They just you win a championship, everything's good for like the next 3 years.
well, it's not the Dallas Mavericks. Shout out Dallas. So
Yeah.
overall, I think kind of like to kind of conclude this podcast. Uh, the Bucks won. That's something we know. Shout out the Bucks. Did they deserve it? I think that they did, regardless of whatever happened. I mean, of course, if they would have, Brooklyn would have been healthy, wouldn't have made it to the finals. But even then, you never know, because it was injuries and that happened. Same thing for Phoenix. I think Phoenix, it was a good run for them, and I don't know if this matters, but I'm pretty proud, seeing what they did and what they did.
Just from what they went through in the bubble, and then really putting this team together with key pieces like Jay Crowder, yeah, I'm impressed with what the Suns did. It's a big off season for them. They need to. They're not a championship team. They're not a championship team. They need to look at themselves hard in the mirror and see what they need to do, because this is not a championship team. Not next year.
Yeah.
And for the Bucks,
but I feel like there's less pressure though for the Bucks and for the Suns, because next season is kind of like
there's pressure for the Suns. There's pressure for the
because
Suns.
next season is like the Suns can't make the moves needed to contend with the Nets and other teams like the Lakers when they're healthy, you know. So I feel like next season's going to be
Yes, they
kind
can.
of like
Yes, they can. If they get another player and they get a backup big, the Suns are gonna make some moves, bro. The Suns are they're gonna make some moves. You'll be surprised.
I mean, they can't contend with the Nets, but I mean, if you think they can, then whatever.
And with the Nets,
They shouldn't worry about the Nets right now. They need to worry about their own team.
yeah, for real. But overall, I think this was one of the best final series, and that's actually kind of the last question I wanted to ask. Is this one of the best finals that we've seen in a while since probably the 2016 Cavs
Yeah, it
Warriors?
has been from top to bottom. Yeah.
You think? What about you?
Definitely. This is like the first finals in a while that we didn't know who was going to win. We didn't know how things were going to play out. It was like there were some exciting moments, more so than other finals in these previous years. The closest thing we had to that after 2016 was 2019, and that was because three of the Warriors players, two of which were were their superstars, were injured.
Yeah.
So, and then even then, that still went to 6.
So you mentioned something in the group chat, Isandro. You said that this finals run from Giannis is way more important or way more impactful or whatever it was than Steph's and KD's. Elaborate a little bit on that for
because
the fans out
Steph beat an injured Cavs team that they were up 2-1 at one point, and it still went to 6 games in 2015. They couldn't put that team away. They choked in 2016. KD comes in, and then it's a wash. It's like you're putting the difficulty down on a video game to easy mode. And of course, when you're playing on easy mode, you're going to look like a god. So every series from then on, up until 2019, which it took like basically the whole team being injured for them to lose. So that was a wash. So those 3 chips and KD's 2 chips, they're just so stupid. Like you won a championship. That's cool. You played the game on beginner mode. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I don't know. I think 2015, like, even though
I'd say that's arguable.
I still don't like
2017 and 18. It's like nah, but 2015 maybe.
2015, I think it's meaningful just because
it's their first. It's their first.
Of the road that Clay, Draymond built with them. They had to really learn how to win games. I know Kyrie and Kevin Love was injured. They probably would have won the series, lost the series, but I feel like that was a meaningful ring. And I mean, Giannis had to deal with like injuries along his route too. But I think Giannis is still a little more meaningful, just because Giannis staying with the Bucks kind of sets the precedent that you can build a championship team without leaving your hometown. That's huge for the owners. That's huge for the league. That's huge for small markets. So
Zion.
it's a big time for.
Yeah, it shows that
Zion.
you can put confidence in your team to build a competent team around you, depending on the circumstance. If we're talking Portland, obviously not. If we're talking about LeBron's Cavs, obviously not. But not every situation is the Portland Trailblazers, the Sacramento Kings, the Minnesota Timberwolves, or the Cavaliers. You can put faith in your franchise.
I just want you to mention that you're really going at all these states for no reason. What have they done to you?
They're
what
losers.
Minnesota done to you?
The Kings are
Hey,
losers.
shout out
Come on,
Minnesota,
bro.
by the way.
Hey, shout out Minnesota, but we all know Johnny.
Minnesota is finally, because they got a new front office. I don't know if people are sleeping on that. They got a new front office. They're making moves.
I'm
and
excited for Minnesota. Benson,
They're
okay.
exciting.
We'll
After
say
a
this.
front office change.
We'll say this
Yeah,
for a
Now,
pretty good
you know,
podcast.
Well,
All right,
I
guys.
think
Hey,
now, well, go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. Now, since the season is over, the fun begins with the Olympics and the draft. I am declaring our next podcast will be our top 10 picks, our top 10 draft picks. I need you guys to study up.
Oh no, I'm excited. I've got my
I need you
list.
guys to study up,
I got
especially
maybe a
Sandro.
top 4.
And then next podcast, we're gonna do who's gonna draft who, and whoever gets the most gets what. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. And also, we do need to do a free agency pod once free agency actually does hit.
I
'Cause
can't
I'm
wait for
excited.
this.
Well, before free agency hits,
We got to
ideally.
find, we have so many ideas, and hopefully, just
And none of them will come to fruition.
hopefully for those who actually watch our videos, hopefully that we can be able to bring in more people to enjoy our stuff, even though our content is solid. But anyway, guys, thank you for
We're getting
joining.
better. We're getting better.
Thank you guys for joining. Please like, subscribe, and hit that like button down below. Lisandro, Johnny, it was a pleasure seeing y'all. And
RIP Bozo CP3.